What would you do if the one person you trusted more than life itself was living a complete lie? I stared at my phone, the screen glowing at 2 a.m. in our silent Chicago bedroom on North Clark Street. It was a single text message on my wife Amelia's phone, a message not meant for me, from a name I didn't recognize. Last night was a mistake. We can't do that again. But it was the reply, her reply, sent an hour later, that shattered everything. It wasn't a mistake. And we will. The air in the room turned to ice. Every breath I took felt like swallowing shards of glass. This wasn't just a crack in the foundation of our marriage. It was a demolition. I placed the phone back on her nightstand, my hand steady despite the tremor in my soul, and realized my life as I knew it was already over. I just had to decide what would rise from its ashes. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. For weeks, something had been off. It was a subtle shift, a change in the atmosphere of our home. Amelia, my wife of 10 years, was distant. Her laughter didn't reach her eyes anymore. She started working late, client dinners that were never on the shared calendar. She'd come home smelling of a perfume that wasn't hers and a faint, cloying scent of cheap hotel soap. When I'd ask, her answers were clipped, dismissive. God, can't you just trust me? I'm exhausted. The manipulation was a slow poison. She made me feel like I was the crazy one, that my questions were an accusation, my need for connection a weakness. The villains, her and whoever she was meeting, felt untouchable, wrapped in a cloak of arrogance while I was left questioning my own sanity. The discovery began in pieces. A credit card receipt for a dinner for two at a ridiculously expensive restaurant, Gibson's Bar and Steakhouse, on a night she was supposedly at a yoga retreat. A phone call I accidentally answered, a man's voice asking for Amy before quickly hanging up. She'd become a ghost in our marriage, her body present, but her spirit somewhere else entirely. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. I came home early, wanting to surprise her, and found her in the living room, on the phone, her back to me. Her voice was low, intimate, a tone I hadn't heard in years. "I miss you too, Mark," she whispered. He has no idea. He's so wrapped up in his own world. Mark, my colleague, the smug, condescending snake from my own office. The humiliation was a physical blow, knocking the air from my lungs. I backed away silently, my heart a black hole of rage and grief. That night, I broke down, not with tears, but with a cold, terrifying clarity. The man she married was gone. In his place was something else, something patient and strategic. My revenge began not with a bang, but with a whisper. I started gathering proof. I hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop who moved through the city like a shadow. He gave me everything: photos of them leaving a cheap motel near O'Hare, recordings of their sickeningly sweet phone calls, copies of hotel bills paid in cash. I documented every lie, every stolen moment. While she was out with Mark, I was meeting with the best divorce attorney in Chicago. We set the traps. I quietly moved all our joint assets into a trust account she couldn't touch. I made copies of her lavish spending on him. I found out Mark was also married. His wife was a prominent figure in a local charity, the same charity Amelia's mother was the chairperson of. The annual gala was in 3 weeks. It was the perfect stage. The night of the gala was electric. Amelia was radiant in a dress that cost more than my first car, dripping with the jewelry I'd bought her over the years. She felt invincible, holding my arm, playing the part of the perfect wife. Mark was there, his own wife on his arm, and he gave me a knowing, pathetic smirk from across the room. He thought he'd won. He had no idea he was a dead man walking. During the main presentation, a video began to play on the large screens around the ballroom. It started as a tribute to the charity's work. Then, the screen flickered. A photo appeared. Amelia and Mark, kissing in the dim light of a parking garage at the Langham. The room went silent. Then another photo. Them checking into the motel. Then a short audio clip, her voice echoing through the grand hall. He has no idea. I watched her face. The color drained from it, her arrogant smile crumbling into a mask of pure horror. Her mother stared, speechless. Mark's wife let out a strangled sob. The exposure was absolute. It was a social execution. Aftermath was brutal and swift. She was ruined. Her family disowned her, her mother publicly shamed. Mark was fired and his wife filed for divorce the next day, taking him for everything. In our own divorce proceedings, the evidence was so overwhelming that the judge awarded me everything: the house, the savings, even the dog. She was left with nothing but the clothes on her back and the mountain of debt she'd accrued. The last time I saw her, she was a shell of the woman she'd been, her eyes hollow, the arrogance replaced by a desperate, pleading look. I felt nothing. The love had been burned out of me, replaced by a cold, quiet void. Sometimes late at night I still see the glow of a phone screen in the dark. But it's just a memory now, a ghost of a life that feels like it belonged to someone else. The end.